Welcome to the Big Picture,
Where
we help you see
think,
and act big. All right, so guys, you know, it's been I have to admit, David, it's been a long time since we went live. But we've been producing a lot of content now in the page and in the group. But
Yes.
guys, we are so.
And we've been traveling.
And
I've been
Dave,
traveling.
Dave has been traveling.
Yes, I've been attending seminars like Tony Robbins and train the trainers stuff with Blair Singer. So
Yeah.
it's been a while, but we're excited to be here.
Yes, we're so excited because we our guests for today, guys, and you're gonna learn a lot from this person because this person have built like multiple businesses, have been mentored by you'll see later on in his life story, but he's been mentored, he has good role models basically. He is the president of San Jose Bakeshop, a brand that for sure if
You're
that
in
you know and
Cebu.
love.
If you're in Cebu,
If you're in
yes.
Cebu, for sure you know that brand. And homeschool global Visayas. It's if you're homeschooling your kid, you definitely know what homeschool global is. All right, so guys, let me welcome our guest for today, Mr. Jojo Tiongko. How are you, Jojo?
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Good
I
morning.
feel very good today.
That's
Oh,
great.
that's
That's
So
great.
yeah, so I'm excited of answering your questions, and maybe if we have questions for online, we would really love to answer those as well.
Yes, just
If you
fire away, guys. Again, watch this and the big picture, facebook.com/the big picture ph, right? All right. So Jojo, I'm pretty sure. But normally, these are we would like to get to know. We would like our audience to get to know you more. Okay. So can you tell a little bit about your life story and how you get into the business world?
so I'm Jojo Tiongko, no. So I'm actually a son of a ring company, a grandson of a ring company, and my father is also an engineer. He started doing the bake shop since 1983. So I grew up with practically with entrepreneurs. I was born 1982. So from the time I parang understood the world, my family was doing business already. Um, but of course, these were not very big businesses. It was just enough to support our needs. No, I guess in the 1980s, businessmen were really doing business was a lot harder in a way to start. But if you are in business, you make more money before than today. No. Um, so I practically grew up with entrepreneurs.
Right.
Uh,
So when like the moment you were born, everybody is basically like in the family is already
as
involved in the
as
business.
far as I can remember, it
Yeah.
was all though my father worked for Petron, but
Mm.
as far as I can remember, I can it's always about doing business, selling something, or yeah.
What's it like in the like the day to day conversation? Is it always like encouraged for you guys to like help in the business?
I think it's different in our time because parents were more busy with their work
Right.
while we were just sent to school.
Right.
Yeah, so we didn't really know what they were doing, what their problems were.
Right.
But we just know that they were selling bread, or my grandfather was
Yeah.
doing that ring business. But
Back then. Yeah.
we were required to go to my grandfather's office every weekend, no, to do something, and it's always exciting because
Yeah. You get yourself involved
he
into
has
something.
money, so
Yeah.
money was your biggest
Motivation.
motivation.
Right. You
So
get rewarded.
when we visit my grandfather, he would always give us 500 at that time. That was
Oh,
big,
Wow,
big.
right?
that's
No.
big.
To do
So
what?
to do count a lot of things like
Business.
pins,
Inventory,
like
inventory.
pins, pack it into 20 pieces, and you learn a lot when you do that, do
Yeah.
those things. No, I realized na grabe those small pins. How can you count 100 pins? 100 pins like this small needles, diba? So that's when I learned, you weigh things and it has an average. And
Right.
then those very small things will make you think that weight is really important.
Yeah. Were you thinking that you were like being groomed that time, or like that feeling of like,
I
yeah, they're
guess
training
I
me to
don't
do
think
this?
they knew that they were really training people because
Yeah.
my grandfather is a
They just
farmer.
need help,
They
basically.
just they just like to see their grandchildren.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh, diba?
yeah.
And they want their grandchildren to be with them. So siguro that's their way. But
Yeah.
um But maybe he knew because he brought me to Singapore at the age of 8 or
Mm.
10.
That's
Uh,
your grandfather.
my grandfather.
Wow.
Oh, to why? Not really because to see Singapore, but we went to kanang jewelry shows,
Mm.
machinery shows in Hong Kong, and then it was only me. I couldn't even enter sometimes because they won't allow
There's an age requirement.
children below 12, I
Right.
think, or 10. Sometimes I just stay outside.
Oh wow. And
And my
wait.
grandfather went inside, and then I just didn't understood that. But sometimes I get to go in like Hong Kong shows.
Uh,
Oh, and I saw shomai machines. No, at that time, I saw shomai machines producing 50,000 pieces a day, and I was asking myself, how can somebody sell 50,000 shomais a day,
Yeah.
right? But now,
Right. That- yeah.
that was like I was 10, and then I see someone now selling more than that an
Yes.
hour, right? So, okay, so if I just knew that if I had that kanang foresight siguro at that time I would have bought that shomai machine.
Right. Right.
Diba? But sound naman
Yeah.
it didn't happen. Oh.
What is the like the age for you where you say like I'm fully involved here
Involved in
in
the
the
business. I
business? Yeah.
think it's all about before it was all about money
Yeah.
for me. So involved in a way I didn't want to be part of my father's business because he was in it.
Right.
He was okay with it. So but I wanted to make money in terms of like
In
I
another
traveled Manila and
Mm.
then I saw there were shoes being sold at a very good price.
business.
Diba? In the kind of mga in like Green Hills or
Right.
in the downtown of Manila, and then Cebu didn't have it. So what I did was I also joined some kind of multi-level marketing,
Right.
and I learned that all you need to sell is just that brochure. So I made a brochure for all the shoes, and then I actually had 5 dealers in my school.
Mm.
So that's
you
how
were
I
you were in high school or
grade
college?
college
College, yeah.
because
College,
I wanted to be independent.
Right.
No.
Sure.
So so I bought shoes in Manila and then I had them delivered through airport to airport because I realized people wanted
Right.
fast, diba? They want it now,
Right,
even
right.
before pa. So I had contacts and then I just sent money and then they sent the shoe to Cebu. I had a car at the age of bata pa kay ko. Blessing to have a car also. I won a car.
You want a
What,
car.
the car?
I
Or
won a car. I won a car.
I won a car.
I won a car, yeah. Yeah. That's the opportunity, no?
Yes. Yes.
It is where you are where you win those things, di ba?
Yeah.
If you're not joining things that doesn't well, if you're joining contests or raffles that gets you to win a car, then you get a car, di ba?
What
Right.
kind of contest was this?
No, it was a golf tournament that
Oh.
is very special, and then
Yeah.
so I won a car. So I used that
Nice.
car to pick up
The
you know,
goods.
the goods from
The
the
sho-
airport.
these are mainly shoes or like different apparels.
Stuff Nike. Kaya ko mga sa
Wow.
overruns at that time.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Overruns or fake. It was just
But business was good.
but
That there was a demand.
there was a demand because people love shoes and
Yeah.
then it's too affordable and they don't need it really for performance. They just want it for looks,
Right.
right?
Right.
So people wanted it and then I had a brochure. I had 5 dealers. I ordered everything. So the next day all their shoes come in. So business was doing very well for my dealers. I just made 500 shoes, 500 pesos per shoe. My dealers made 1,000 or
Mm.
more a
Yeah.
shoe. So I saw the concept of kind of working with other people at
Right.
that maybe second year in high school, second year in college.
And you learned that
Oh.
from
Multi-level
multi-level,
marketing.
yeah.
This is how you do it. No, just give them a brochure, supply all these things in the brochure. Ordering system was through phones. Connect to Manila. Just a little investment for 15,000 pesos. I think I was at one point I was selling 50 shoes a day.
Really.
Oh,
Wow.
so it was really doing well. And
And
the
this
problem
is-
was
and you don't have a shop basically. You
No.
just sell through the people.
pati online ito,
Online.
Friendster pa to.
Oh, online.
But the online the thing there, the challenge there was that people didn't realize that stocks was more valuable than the product. So
Mm.
because they already had the money, the customer already had the money. It's a matter of what shoe they wanted to buy.
Right.
So ako, ni-invest man ko, kusog man kaayo. So sometimes the sizing is not correct. So that's the problem, di ba?
Yeah.
Sizing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Order ka sa owner. Have you reached that time nga order ka niya? What size mo? Huwat na po ko another 3 days.
Right.
Well, that doesn't happen in my sense, in my business because daghan man kog dealer. So mag-ilis-ilis lang sila lang shoe. My warehouse was my car in San Carlos. So I
Yeah.
opened my
My
back and then all the dealers would come and everybody would come to me. It was so amazing.
That was amazing. That
uh,
was your first venture
that
of
was my
your
first no.
entrepreneurship.
I dealt with some
Entrepreneurial journey.
cooperative na even Jollibee ordered from me adiri for their uniform. Parang, so naman eh. Okay, but little did I know na it was actually a good business. I didn't want to do it too much because I knew it wasn't the right business.
Right.
Okay, you're selling something that's not legal, right?
Okay, so
Technically.
you somehow ended that
Uh,
like
uh.
what after college or
No, I just did it for 6 months and made
oh
a
okay.
few, maybe a million siguro.
Yeah. Really.
Wow,
And
That's
ah.
then
good.
yeah, a lot of money, a lot
Yeah.
of money. But
This,
yeah, I didn't want to do it continuously because it was going too well, and then it's not legal, magod. So
yeah.
why do
So
something?
there's this like feeling that
Diba?
oh,
You
this
were
might
asking
blow.
me about is it good?
Yeah.
Like, is it gonna be there until forever? No, it's not gonna be there until forever.
Yeah.
So why focus on it? Ba?
Speaking about that, no. So I asked her Joe earlier about is the business doing good, and he shared a very nice knowledge that I'd like you to share to every one of our
So
listeners. Yes.
so he
What is
asked me,
business? Is it what makes a business good or
is there really a good business? What
Right.
what's that when you say ask good? What is good? Is it making money or I answered you well the business will be here 10 years from now, 20 years from now. It is still going to be there, no?
Yeah.
For me that's good.
and we're talking about this business by the way. It's,
The
Longevity.
it's all about
the
longevity
homeschooling,
for
yeah.
me. For me, of course, business is not about money always because when you grow man good, your expenses will grow, so your income will decrease. So that's why having a good business is for me longevity and be able to kana ganing support the growth of the organization because your kanang workers will also have children and they also need some things kana gani. So it's a so if you ask me if what business is a good business, it's when you know it's life. Kanang 'di ba my shoe business was good business. I knew it was just up to a certain amount. After that one, di na pwede. So mo na siya ako ang tanaw sa business. Like this business, like now I'm 37, so I have to make sure that my businesses are kanang di na kayo radical. Longevity na akong ipangita. Di na tong siguro when you're 20, you can or 18 or 23 years old, you can do radical businesses like shoe business.
Yeah.
Kanang mga dali ra kayo ba? One hit wonder. Kanang mga nana.
Yeah, we actually interviewed a guy named Jake Beery. Hi, Jake. So he have failed like how many times? 11 times
Maybe
in
like
business.
12.
12 something, yeah. But I'm wondering how many businesses have you started like
Which
in your
you didn't
lifetime?
continue
Yeah.
because
Like
you didn't
we know
feel it
about
was worth it.
the
Dagan
shoes.
man, shoe agency, manpower agency. We also had that, which had 300 people at one point. And then we also have a shoe business called. We were part of the Suelas. I don't know if you've heard of that brand. When it started here in the Visayas, we were the Suelas dealer, and then we figured, I think we'll return it na lang to the principal because I think they're better running it. What other businesses have we tried? But daghan man siguro. Yeah, I think that's. I think most. I don't think I did the testing in our bakery mostly. Ano mga concepts ba? It's not more. I don't see it as a closed business. It's more of a kanang.
You're trying it
I even
on.
have a clothes shop. No, 6 clothes shops in the mall, which made me realize this is how to handle the malls there. And then how to buy clothes in all over like Bangkok and gani. So it was me and my wife's business, and we had children. Man good, mo lagi sustainable. It's no longer sustainable because you have to
Yeah.
travel, and then
You
and then
go
we
buy
saw that all these businesses are coming like kanang mga kanang Forever 21 and all these companies
Right.
were coming, and it's not gonna be the business will only be as good as when they're not here.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
they're there, patay na ka. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, so one of the things that I also learned from from other people is like saying no to the glittery stuff, right? I mean, but the thing is, you as a businessman, pretty sure you're thinking you have 1,000 ideas every day of what would be a good
You have indecent proposals every day.
right. So how do you like sort all through these things and you'd say, oh, this one I will test
If
and
it
pursue.
for now, no, what I realize is that if it's for God's it's about God's if it's God's kana ganing design, or if it's approve of God's design for business,
Right.
mas sayon good na siya. Though I'm not saying mas dali makakwarta, but it's more it's business longevity is more better. Daghan mga good businesses nga if money is your goal, murag sayon ra na siya.
Mm.
Kung money lang jud,
Right.
sayon ra gyud na siya. But if I was sharing murag I was offered another opportunity nga murag Senate hearing man gid mo si piat ko ani. I mean,
Yeah.
money na.
Mm.
That's money. But Senate hearing gid siya. If one mistake
Yeah.
and you're gonna be the goat,
Right.
you're gonna be the sheep.
Yeah, you'll be sacrificed.
You'll be sacrificed.
Mm.
So if money lang,
So when you say about like God's design, can you like elaborate on what it means? Like if how do I spot it like among all the things, the opportunities that I have? Because people nowadays they have like 1,000 opportunities that are staring at them, and sometimes they don't know like how to evaluate those
yeah,
opportunities.
because kanang normally magod if it's not God's business, gamay ra gid mo buhat ana. 'Di ba?
Mm.
Like I can't mention businesses, no, but if
Like
it's,
how do you test it? Like okay, like
What's your
if it's not in your conscience, like selling something that you don't believe in,
right.
diba? Or
Yeah.
promoting a business that is not sustainable, and it's a pyramiding scam,
Right.
diba?
Like so
In your heart by na it's not sustainable, diba? You sell something. I've been into multi-level businesses now.
right.
Okay man na siya. I'm not saying that's a wrong business concept, but it's really just when you check, are these products still priced as what they are saying, or is it too high priced?
or
Diba?
are you focusing on the pyramid?
Are you
already? Or,
focusing on
yeah,
inviting people or
Yeah,
selling this
selling the
product?
product?
Or is the product still competitive with, let's say, it's a toothpaste, is it still competitive with Colgate? Diba? If it's
Right.
competitive, then that must be truly kanang multi-level marketing. Ano ba?
Yeah.
Not the kanang,
That's a good point.
diba? I mean, or it's not about multi-level marketing really. I'm not against them.
Yeah.
So, in fact, you learn a lot from them. Diba? A lot, no? So, you were asking if it's about God. Most probably, goodbye, your conscience will tell you. And you ask your mom.
Okay.
You ask
Ask
your
your mom.
father.
Right.
You ask people kono ba kanang of
Wise
good-
counsel, basically.
Validate basically. right?
I'm gonna do this business. Dad, I'm gonna sell drugs. What
Yeah.
do you think? Munog na imong dad. Murag start questioning,
Right.
diba?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like the
Uh-huh.
fact when you said that like it's possible, like for example an opportunity would come and they will tell you, hey, I want you to sell this and this will make you a lot of money, but then you're not really sold out yourself, right? And then that basically violates like a kind of a feeling inside of you, right? You know that there's something wrong, but then if you're in for the money and you might make money in the short term, but in the long term, like
Your actions will have consequences.
exactly.
For
Yeah.
sure. Diba? Have you tried anything binuang nga business?
I tried MLM before.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
it was a lot of learning experience,
Uh-huh.
but I was coming with like getting the recruits and all that. But
Okay naman na siya.
yeah,
That's still okay.
when I was a young kid.
Okay raw gina siya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not anti-MLM, okay? A lot of people who watch this are actually from the
Okay, lagi
MLM
na siya.
industry.
You have to learn from them. You have to
Yeah.
learn because Tonton Luterio of kanang
the realty.
the
The
realty.
realty,
You know
yeah.
where he came from, right?
Haven't heard.
Check his background. He's a really good multi-level marketing
And
guy.
he was able to use this
He's
that
the
system.
skills
the
right
skills,
now.
and that's
That's
how
very
that's how
scalable
he
now.
actually does it. No,
Yeah.
so
Even I think Bo Sanchez, Pacman was even part of Uno. I
Yeah,
guess.
but this is Tonton is really a leader. So I like that.
Yeah.
Even ako kita ko niya makabuhi yung patay.
Yeah.
But he's really good.
It's really good.
And would you agree that the speaking and the communication really matters to that kind of business, right?
Kinanglan man, you have to be excited.
Right.
Diba?
The
That's part
energy.
of servant leadership.
Yeah.
You have to be both, daghan, no? You have to be strategic. You have to be this. And you have to be really excited. How can you be a leader if you're not excited?
So let's
Let's
talk about that.
Let's talk about that. Yeah.
So yeah, when you say
let's
how
go,
do you
go have some more sales.
so how do you born that like excitement inside of you, like because it's not easy to kind of sometimes it's not is sometimes in a good you can easily be excited, but you want me to get it
That's okay.
but sometimes the feeling is not there. How do you get yourself excited so that other people will get excited also?
One, you have to think about the strategic part of that business, di ba? If it's the strategy will tell you it's not something to be excited about, how can you be excited? Di ba?
You need to be sold out yourself.
When you say
basically.
strategy, so what is that the business model?
Yeah, the business model, like
okay.
itong longevity,
No,
you know.
ito.
Oh,
Okay.
because if excitement lang imong gipangita, you can be excited today, but you'll realize tomorrow, di man mo akong gibuhat.
You
eh.
can you can create a
So-
Facebook page.
So what you're
In
saying
less
is
than
that
1 minute.
because you understand, because you have a solid strategy
Uh,
moving forward, and you really appreciate the strategy, in the long term, it might not show up in the chart, but then you're so excited because whatever you're doing in the short term will impact the overall performance
strategic
of the company.
man gid siya. You have to think strategic,
Right.
di ba?
That's
Yeah.
the first strategy.
Strategic,
Yeah.
So
yes.
what's
You
the
have to have a good strategy because, well, not good strategy. You have to be strategic,
strategic? Okay.
because if it's not strategic, then what's my example of a business that's not strategic. I cannot mention lagi because they have some of them are here. Just assess if it's strategic, di ba? Oh, so and then you have to be excited, di ba? And then
So that's the second one.
there's supposed to be another one. I forgot the second one, but I'll get back to that on later. But you have to be excited. How to be excited? Because man nga, at the end of this stage of my strategy, let's say 5-year plan, mura good man. It's good, diba? This is gonna be good for us,
Right.
diba? But if you don't see 5 years from now, dini good, excited man ka,
Right.
diba? So that brings the excitement because you see what people don't see.
Right.
Sometimes mga good workers don't really see what you see because they're busy doing the kanang computation, the invitation, all these things, di ba?
Right.
And kung dis lang kita sa mga excitement, apiti, gid ka.
Right.
Oo.
Yeah, and excitement, as I think you would agree with this na it's not coming from money in itself, right?
Of course, money is also something to
Something
be
to be
excited
excited
about, but there has to be kanang growth ba? What is your goal? Oo.
Right.
Right now, San Jose Bakeshop is doing bread delivery. We're the first bakery to do bread delivery in the whole Cebu,
Right.
no? Maybe in Cebu, maybe in the Philippines,
Yeah.
no? To do direct delivery good. So if you start off day one on bread delivery, by one delivery a day, marag, wow. Kalayo pa na ako 5 deliveries, oy. Di ba? And then you see, we started November, and you see now there are delivery hubs because we have delivery hubs all over.
Right.
The ones who started 6 months ago, 5 months ago, in low key why radar nga makitaan, wa na siya kita sa radar, and then suddenly now it's doing really well. But it's not still paying.
Yeah.
But you see there's a future.
Right.
Diba? And the future is delivery.
Sure.
Diba?
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm excited, and every day, which brings me to the next thing about servant leadership,
Right.
is that we have to be tactical.
Right.
Because once we have a strategic plan, the tactics in the process is what matters most. Diba? When you buy a motorcycle now, it means 3 months later panay mo na magamit yung motorcycle. Kay dugay pa imong LTO karon, di ba? So, di ba, the excitement, mura ganig, what do you do? Di ba? What do you do in the process? Di ba? Palit kag motorsiklo a year before or 6 months before para porma na siya diretso, di ba? And in the process, daghan man problema, di ba? How do you solve these problems? You have to make sure that you know where to go, di ba? Kaya ang problems manggawas man gyud kung magdagan na ang kumpanya, di ba? Because once it's moving, there's production. Once there's production, there's problems. Di ba? Example, mo-deliver na sila dito. So, okay lang kung mag-una ka. Kay forgiving pa man mga tao nimo if you're the first in the industry. Di ba? That's why you wanna be first. Because people are more forgiving.
Didn't have a benchmark.
They don't have a benchmark. May na lang mo-deliver. Balag late.
Exactly.
Di ba?
Yeah.
Pero ikaduha na ka.
Kompetensya na.
Lisura na kompetensya. Lisura na kompetensya.
That's
di ba?
true. That's true.
Di ba?
Mm.
Pizza. Di ba? It's
Yeah.
always the first. Always gets the biggest pie.
Yes, that's true.
Not unless somebody makes an innovation where irrelevant na ka. So, which leads me
Share
to the
Facebook.
di ba? They were good. We were forgiving with Friendster nga but when Facebook came in, papas Facebook, papas si Friendster. So remember, when you already have something going you're very tactical because strategy has been set, tactical has been made, tactics are being done every day. So there's production ongoing, meaning movement, everybody's busy. Now, how do you become tactical if you are not able to communicate? Diba? So
That's the next point.
it's the next
Communicate.
point,
Oh,
diba?
wow.
Because there's production, there has to be communication because in the process the problems go and go and go and once okay, which brings me to another issue about root cause analysis where people tend to see the simplest things. I hate the driver, it's late, diba? But you don't see the why is he late? Why is it late? Why is it late? The fishbone method ba? And you must have, if you haven't heard of that,
The
just
five whys.
just Google fishbone or the five whys. Now,
Yeah.
why? But normally it ends with there's a deeper problem than the people.
Yeah, let me explain it a little bit. So this is a technique. So and this can be applied like in your personal
In
life,
your
in your
life.
business life. This is a technique in finding like where what's the real reason? What's the real problem? So for example, in Jojo's case, like so the problem is late. It's not like oh it's just because of traffic because sometimes people will just say hey, it's traffic in Cebu, right?
No, you're losing a car. What do you expect?
Exactly right. So now think about that. That there must be a deeper reason, and so
Uh-huh.
one of the ways to do that is to do a fishbone method
Ay,
or a
Google
five
lang
why.
kag fishbone method.
It's
no?
not the mayor's problem.
It's always the government's
It's always
problem.
the
But at the end of the
There's a
day, we are
deeper why
the
again.
yeah. It's not always about
Yeah.
because, diba? In if there's like kanang kung si tawag na sa Chinese kanang ituwag insa na lang if there's opportunity the other way around. Kung naay suffering and there's always opportunity. There's crisis.
Mm.
There's always opportunity.
That's
So kung
it's a
traffic,
Chinese proverb.
oh, I just heard of that a lot of times, but I'm not sure if it's a proverb, but it's true, di ba?
Yeah.
Kung traffic kayo,
There's an
then kung
opportunity.
kinsay makauna sa traffic, mao gyud makaginansya.
Yeah.
So grab that opportunity, di ba? And
Yeah.
that's being part of
The one who can solve the traffic.
Yeah.
Actually.
The thing is, that's a good point, Dave. But here's the thing, guys. This process that Jojo is mentioning actually drives you to look at the things that you can control in your business and in your life and deal with it because there are things that definitely it's out of your control and you don't have to deal with that.
yeah, so
That's good.
it's also part of the katong there's so many things, no blue ocean strategy wherein
Right.
there are things that you cannot it's just bloody out there, but you don't you don't solve the traffic, you avoid the traffic.
Right.
Yes.
That's the goal, diba? That's why there's ways. Ways all ways
Or
does
you
is
go
avoid
early,
the traffic.
early as you can.
Oh, avoid the
because, you know,
traffic. Oh, mo na avoid the traffic yung ka. Oh, motorcycle,
It's
hindi
not the
pala
reason.
scooter.
It's not the reason.
Opportunity yun na siya. Kung imong tanawon kay di man kaya sa ubang tao. If it's so easy for people, then you will surely 100% have competition the next day. So the harder it is, the better it is good for me.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would agree
So,
with that.
Which also kanang leads me where was I? So I was partly communication, di ba?
Yeah. So you
Kanara
communicate.
ba karon, that's always a very big issue kanang communication because they can't people tend to rely on calls or text messages or Viber or Messenger. So man, WhatsApp, there's so many things. There's so many things that are being practiced now nga, in terms of communication nga maka-affect gid kayo. Even that's why you Google what's the best way to communicate in an organization, di ba? Kaya kung di mo lang i-rely so much on the kanang what you know, di ba? Kanang I think Viber is the right best thing. So you really have to assess how you communicate your people. Email, is it really email? Di ba? I won't tell you the secret, but I want you to Google more on how to communicate to your organization. Nga,
Yeah, like Viber was used by Island, right? JL Deguer's company. So yeah, or WhatsApp, was it WhatsApp? So it really depends. When like for mine, it's Messenger. Everyone uses Messenger. So
you have to make sure that it is sustainable, Gapon. I've been using those things, but napsya kuwang, there's always something missing with it. No? You have to think. Basta, that's a
Sige, so
for me. I
communication.
wanna tell you that thing in another time because I want you to be challenged on.
But
because-
also communication in a way that how the one who delivers it can explain it to your that matters as well.
unsa mga
right?
nabay root cause analysis nga po nabay because you cannot tell everyone man how to
Communicate.
communicate.
Mm.
Murag unsa man gid ang platform ninyo.
Mm.
Diba? Nagtulo ang ceiling. Kana lang, nagtulo ang ceiling. Sometimes they say, "Sir, nagtulo ang ceiling diri, sir." Or nagtulo ang atop, sir. Diba? So what do you do? Di man na sila you cannot train them how to speak very well.
Mm.
So mo man na siya ang communication barrier karon.
Mm.
Nga we can communicate but ang ilang gi-message lang was nagtulo ang ceiling kadako na atong building. Miss, you get sometimes may insulto pa sila and which we don't want. Diba nga na, can you tell me which part because the building is so big. Diba?
Okay, so it's so
And then it creates stress between the people around them. And there's so much stress in the office just because of that word nga nagtulo ang ceiling kadako aning silinga oy. Di ba? Which part, why, what do you think, what's the next steps? More kinahanglan nimo they should be able to communicate well and there are platforms out there that continuous ang inyong kanang communication nga dili mo maglibog.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, what else? Communication that for me is the biggest thing.
Mm.
Because without proper communication, gubot gyud inyong organization. Okay, you can't put everything in manual man. Wala man even I talked to a shipping
We're not dealing with machines. We're dealing with people.
Yeah, we talked to a shipping company na kuno sila system nga grabe kayo dako na kay sila gas sa system. You know what happened? All of them are chatting in Facebook all their concerns.
Not through the system.
through
No,
CRM.
not to the system. There's a
Yeah.
problem.
Yes.
Diba? There's a breakdown in communication yun. Okay, supposed to be ISO standard mo ni.
Right.
Pero sorry, ISO standard mo masayon man yung messenger.
Yes.
So now breakdown. That's the problem. There's a breakdown in communication. Wala na continuity.
Wow.
So you have to check your standards. Check your communication system.
How do you like in a company like for example San Jose? There's a lot of people involved, right? How do you roll out something like company wide? Do you have like a big meeting?
That's my challenge to you. We have ways to communicate even a simple memo, no? Unsa kaayo siya kanang secured, not really super secure, nothing secure really now.
Yeah.
You talk about security, never mind that.
There's a process of submitting a memo or
There's a
Yeah.
way to
Okay.
communicate very simple. Kana lang mingon ka, do not pull out all these products. Kaliso na telling to 36 branches and
Right.
300 people.
Right.
Diba? Or I have an incident na, sir, ang niabot nga size sa box atong cake, sir, kay 1/2 inch bigger than our G crates. What do? We have to deliver 300 cakes this morning or this afternoon, the next morning. What's our solution for this? 300 cake.
Right.
You're talking logistics,
Yes,
diba? How
yes.
can you solve that in less than a day? Diba?
Right.
If it wasn't communicated well from the very start of the problem.
Yeah.
Murag inana ba?
I don't want to have that problem.
So ana ang both tactical communication and production happens. How do you communicate the problem and how do you like, sir, unsay pasabot nimo kuwang og 1/2 unsa na? No, unsa to? Basta ana lang kagamay, like unsa man 1/4 inch?
Right.
Nilapas sa crate ba? So
Mm.
dili ana
Di masira.
Can you imagine delivering 300 boxes of cakes?
Yeah.
You can't carry one at a time, diba? There have to be crates, diba? So 1/2 3/4 inch siguro. Less than that nga nilapas. So dili mapatong ang tanan crates. And you're gonna deliver it again the next day. What are you gonna do? Diba? So you have to be able to communicate. Unsa pasabot mo, take a picture of it. Tag everybody and then the problem you can actually solve a problem in less than a day with a very
Good
kanang
communication.
very good communication process nga dili madisturbo ang mga way labot.
Yeah.
The problem now is that when you send a problem na appeal ang tanang tao bisag ang janitor kita nga na problema, they don't need to know everything
Right.
na appeal na sa issue kaskasa sila istorya diha. They're gonna talk about that issue
Right.
in their office and it's gonna be your money being paid.
Yeah.
So anyway, go.
Wow.
Where were we? We were in communication. We're stuck with communication.
But
have
that's a
a
very
little-
important topic. I would
Oh,
agree with
oh.
that.
That's
And
in
then there should be like kanang you agree with other people. No? You have to have consensual. Your people has to be consensual of the things that you are rolling out.
Is this we're talking about the people you employ with?
Most of the time, it's
okay.
all about your organization.
Okay,
Diba, we were mentioning it's all about some people, some things that you can control. What can you control? You cannot control customers.
right.
You can only control the people.
your people. Okay.
So the people is always about
So there's a consensual agreement with
agreement of the things
Okay.
that we are doing, di
All
ba?
right.
Dili
So
pwedeng let's use this as a communication platform and then they don't agree on it.
yeah, yeah,
It's a
like
very
earlier.
big problem, di ba? Okay, they're not agreeable to it and then
So they will not use it.
they will not use it because di ba
Right.
no, there's no consensual
Right.
murag di man, di ba? So you
So
have to make sure.
let me just like magnify this topic, because like the old model was, if you're the boss, if you're the leader, uh, to roll out something, diba? It's just to do this because I said so.
Authoritarian.
Right.
Oh.
But we've gone past that already. That's an old model, and that has not been working for years now. And
It's
Jojo was
not
talking
easy.
about
You can work, bro. Kinang
yeah,
man ka-
then you will lose employees.
most probably. Or you will have employees who are robots, which are not there. So wag na sila.
which
Anyway.
which is not what you want also, right? I mean, you need people who can
And
take an
I just want to
organization.
like put something here na recently, I mean, before actually when we were younger, no, it's easy to get yayas. Right now,
Right.
it's really difficult to get that. I mean, the culture is changing. Everyone's aware now. You can't just hire anyone unless they're really from the
Right.
deepest part of the province,
Right.
right? So, we're dealing today. People, unlike Filipinos before, today are more educated. It's a so yeah, you have to deal with people.
in the case gyud sa ako is that all my supervisors, not all of them are required to be college graduates.
Mm.
Because I went to Germany to help in DepEd's implementation for K to 12. So we were there for a week. Kanang it is really it's working with Cebu Chamber, and it's really to implement K to 12, which people don't really understand nowadays. Why do K to 12? Maybe we're just in the start of K to 12. Truth of the matter is that we don't need college graduates to do accounts payable clerk. Um, we don't need to do college graduate for a lot of things. Um, it's all about training and mentorship. German method is really like that. No, that's why they have really good kanang outputs. It's not because their leaders are very intelligent, but because their workers are very good. Oh, 'di ba? So, and sometimes we are stuck to the idea that only college graduates or educated people are the ones that we should hire. But in reality, what's happening now is that the hungry, I like to work with kaning people who are kanang less hungry, or they didn't not go to college because they could afford. They did not go to college because they couldn't afford. They were not given the opportunity. So there's just something missing lang sila. So mona in the German method magud, if you're 16 years old, even if you don't have education, as long as you know how to read and write, you can actually take a vocational courses where mahire gyud ka and you become actually one of the best technicians of the corporation. Kay train man ka. Oh, mo na
Yeah,
siyang
I like that. It also gives opportunity to a lot of people from for our country, because a lot of them, they want to work pero they cannot get into a work na they cannot get into a work that's kind of worthwhile lang kuan.
I like in San Jose, our organization is not really academically kung ingong kag pasabiton minimo og college degree nga papeles murag hagbong siguro mi. But the people that works with us are from the ranks which I really like to work.
Yeah.
Okay, when they say they will work, they will work.
Right.
Dili nga kanang you text them at night, okay na sila. They're used to it man, di
Right.
ba? So it's really nice to work with them. So I guess the hardest thing about being in an organization that's big I was is that it's being able to feel what those who are in the far positions ba. How can you feel them?
How can
Uh,
you reach them?
feel
Feel
you
and
can feel or reach nga kana ganing their problems, their concerns, di ba? Murag unsa ilang mga cash advances. Kay kung di ka kitaan na good, you don't know what's happening to your manpower. Suddenly, lah, grabe naman din ako mga tao. Puno naman ng utang, si palit og Lazada dito sa bakery. I mean, mo na siya atong goal, no. We have to be able to feel our people. Yeah, mo na uban like some
how many people are we talking about here?
300 lang man
300.
ako.
Okay, good. That's a good number already.
Um,
So
So murag there were people nga who I met ninja nga, Joe, what's the best thing, Joe? No, you bring around something, maybe a small token, and when you go to your businesses, you give them something. Kanang everyone in that place, no, mo matter gyud kuno na sila. That's your way of telling them nga murag, yeah, I know, I kind of know where you are, ano ba? So even the
Who
president,
said that?
A
um,
mentor.
someone from a very big shipping company, nga shipbuilding company.
Mm.
Oh, nga this is how the president of this shipbuilding company
Visits the place.
visits their factory in, ako na yung zoom in ha,
Right.
the shipping company that produces ships,
Yes.
not
Right.
no, in the south of Cebu. So
Okay.
the president
Interesting.
goes around and brings in a little something for the people.
Yeah, it's just
Uh,
token or what?
Even just a ball pen kuno.
Yeah, yeah.
Kana mo na
Yeah.
iyang ingon nga.
And
So that
and it's and you're doing this?
um I'm not doing that because lahi man ang akong way to
Right.
connect to them. There's a different way also,
Yeah.
di ba?
Sure.
Sila kay one unsa naman gud, one venue 5,000 ka people, di ba? Sa ako one venue tulo naman ka tao.
That's
So
true. That's true. That's
you
true.
have to find
Yeah,
a way to
sure.
be more
Yeah.
impactful, di ba? High
Sure.
impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But the important
the important
thing
there
here
is to get touch base with them.
yes.
Oh,
It's
Of
it's
course.
you step down your high horse and basically just
Example,
yeah.
your Facebook, you should have friends in your company.
Right.
Di ba? If they're your people, then add them as friend.
Right.
Di ba? Di mo
that's,
gina sila,
that's a
di
good
ba? And then,
one already, no?
because mo message man sila, nimo na sila problema.
Yeah, that's true.
Di ba?
That's true.
Reachable ka.
Yeah.
For me lang na. Others man good, they don't want to be
They don't wanna
reachable.
be
If you
reached,
don't want to be reached, na, you will hear of the bigger problems later on pa. Dako na kayo na. Lawom na kayo
That's
na.
true.
Oh.
Yeah. What you're saying is actually really gold because a lot of people they're thinking, oh, and this work in different, like, even if you're like a boss in a huge company, for example, if you're a supervisor, like, you don't want the problem to escalate to a level that's beyond your control. If you're owning a business, make sure that you get first hand information.
You have to train also yourself to be, if you're an entrepreneur, but you have to train also to don't sweat the small stuff.
Right.
Because the small stuff are always there. Kanang, sa sa man mo dyan, kawatan ka ginani pan bay. I don't know. Murag, I cannot, if kawaton na nila, then I can't
There's nothing you can do
I
about
can't
it.
I can't just stop business because kawatan ko usa ka pandesal.
Right.
Mas dako pa ko problema sa running this business and
Right.
kanang kawatan or unsa na diha.
Sure.
Murag, I put something, but it's not 100% kay kung ang bangko kay kawatan man gani, di ba? So ako pa kaha, di ba? So that's why people have to be connected to me in
Right.
some ways or another kay if they cannot, it's at the end of the day, their problems about they don't have food anymore,
That's true.
di ba? If
Yeah.
you don't have food and there's 100 pesos there, what do you do?
Yeah.
Not eat,
Oh, good.
di
Yeah.
ba? Find a way to cash advance or steal it.
Right.
So the cash advance should be as fast as one click.
Yeah.
Di na lang sila mangawat kay maka cash advance naman ka kag
That's true.
100 pesos.
That's a
or
good
ano
point.
ba,
Yeah.
di ba? It's always need-based bigyan ng kawat, di ba? Di ba na siya ako, tao ko, ganahan ko mangawat. Di ba?
Exactly.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Even, di ba, watch all these movies,
Money
need-based,
heist?
no?
No, just
No.
kidding.
Need-based,
Okay.
no? So you better make sure that you are there when the need arises.
Right.
Yeah.
Or they already know, our boss cares for us. And when we need something, at least man lang maka-express ta.
Sure. Yeah.
Ang problem sa breakdown of communication. Nag-request siya og cash advance but wala gyud naabot. Di ba? Very
Right.
common. Imagine, someone from Balamban requests cash advance. Di ba? How can that come in like a day if you don't have a good, again, communication? Di ba? Without communication, give sila kibang mo email. Di ba? How do you solve that problem? So root cause analysis, why are people angry? Because they are not, it wasn't communicated well. Yeah, ang communication pag yun, daghan pag yun kayo mo. Ako mag-isend mo sa Viber. Ako mag-isend mo sa, asa man dapita ba? Wa man ko kita. Nalubong, manggod. 100 kabuk ni message. So see, now I'm getting across a real problem in Viber, WhatsApp, and all these things.
Yeah. Sakto.
And even following up on a problem, you can't because there's like 10 days later, that's like 20 years already in the messaging world. Di ba? 10 days later, in the Viber, wala
That's
na
true. That's true.
Di ba? Even in your barkada chat, di ba? Wala na ng 10 days ago. Kalimot na mo, ana. Di ba? So, communication is, I go back again to communication. What's all the strategic planning and when you're not able to drive your company on a day-to-day basis, di ba?
Mm.
Mo na siya, which,
Very valuable.
what's the last one, gani? Communication and consensual, and then, okay. Whew. If you have an organization, I just like to speak for our organization. Di man siya dako kayo. It's just that um
It's multi-site.
multi-site, multi-machinery,
Right. Yeah.
multi-site,
It's big
multi-machinery,
operation.
retailing, both retailing and distribution.
Yeah.
So murag, I think big enough na
It's
siguro na nga
complex.
problem. Complex na siya.
Yeah.
So how do you run those companies?
Right.
Question.
Yes.
You have to delegate it, right?
Mm.
So that's why delegation is key. You can, no, he's not fit to run this. Well, you have a choice. Di ba? Do you have a choice? Di ba? Yung ka nga, di ba? Yung ka nga, no, he's not good enough. Really. Ikaw.
What's
Ikaw-
your style, Joe? Like in that case, how do you assess people? Do you just like go with your gut, or do you have like
No,
a mental checklist in your head? Like
normally, experience mood is the best teacher. Di
Mm.
ba? Sometimes, na yung mga mayo kayo nga, 2 months pa lang sa kumpanya, mayigid sila. But, at the end of the day, if they're not with you for a good number of months, or year, or years, it's very,
it's risky for
it's
you.
risky.
Yeah.
The shorter the stay, the higher the risk.
I see a pattern here in terms of like your perspective. You always look at like longevity and that the amount of time that they invested, and you will be willing to invest also.
Longevity good siya.
Yeah.
Because
You're playing a long game, right?
Because you can't by as simple as clean
That's
this
true.
floor. If he doesn't do that, then most probably he needs to develop that, or else
Right.
he's never gonna get a higher position than cleaning the floor.
Right.
Di ba?
That's
Mo
true.
bitaw na, di ba? You watch them how they wash the dishes. Are they efficient? Okay, this is makita mo gini mo ba how they even wash the dishes?
I have a question,
Diba?
Joe. Right? Because we're talking about we're talking about a multi-site, multi-machinery, multi-distribution company. How do you like see that? Like, how do you get a grasp of that? Because we're talking of like multiple people in different. Do you go? Do you visit?
Communication. That's all part of your communication.
Right.
Platform,
Hmm.
systems, all of these things, people around you, they have
Right.
to,
Okay.
you have to really,
Do you have a feedback system
oh yeah,
Yeah.
every day,
every day?
every day.
Nice.
Approvals are done online. Signatures are done at my house. They are being sent every evening. It goes out every 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the morning from my house to their tables.
Yeah.
So murag,
That's your
um,
system in place.
oh,
Yeah.
it they have to start the day with something to do.
Right.
Dili kay start the day with thinking of what to do. Di ba? And
Mm.
organizations man good. I arrived in the office and then what I'm gonna do. Di ba? That's why all the signatures happens at night sa ako. Kay para na ako, if naay papeles kipirmahan, naay trabaho ng mga tao.
Right.
Di ba? Or naay mga approvals, it should be done a
There's a
day
transaction
before.
the next
Even
day.
like just a day before.
Right.
Di ba? Mao na siya ang basis sa
Interesting.
many systems are in place good like kana gyapon it has to be consensual. Why do you put kanang like I practice a routing slip, like when you apply, example lang, when you apply in our company, you're logged on the day that you applied,
Mm.
like you sign something September 8 or September 10, 9 a.m. I sign, you apply, you sign, but at 11 a.m. interviewed, no, and then submission of requirements, signing of contract,
Yeah.
so I'll be able to check my HR if are you doing your job well, ano ba?
Mm.
Murag, it's also there, sir, ako muna siya na interview, sir, look, di ba? It's
Yeah,
about,
check and balance.
if they understand it, why they need to, why,
log, oh.
why, some people man good, when they don't wanna log because they don't wanna, they just don't wanna write it, di ba? But if they know why, see, if you did not log this, how would I
Right.
how would you prove to me that gi-interview ni mo ni siya 1 day ago and imo ni siyang gidawat karon and akong ipirmahan ang kontrata 10 days later. Nya
That's
mo
true.
nang wa ka nakasupply sa manpower
Mm.
because wa mo ko ipirma. Di ba? Wa man ako approve ang iyahang
Right.
whatever. So, um, systems had to be in place, and then they have to know why. And telling them how to know why, it takes a lot of time.
That's true.
Murag, why? Why do you use this platform? Sayon man tong Viber, sir. Yeah, sayon lagi ninyo kay blurt out lang ng blurt out. 10 days later, I don't see it anymore. Now,
Right.
even 2 weeks ago, I follow up on something. Mugawas yun nga. What happened? Like 2 weeks ago, they post an issue. Okay. And then suddenly, magkaunahon na ako. Kumusta na ka to, no? I send out a,
Just check it.
check it, follow up on it, and
Right.
then it comes out, okay. Sir, wala na ako na-report, sir, pero ayon na na. Or, sir, yaw-yaw na po na. You know, they talk about what's the issue, and then you see, okay. The issue here is that the maintenance are having a hard time because these are the things that are lacking. You see that in their conversation, man. All the reasons.
So okay, so key to delegation, and the way you said, is actually building like the leadership around you, right? Like making sure that people that are being delegated are also responsible enough. So
When-
how do you develop that, or do you spot that right off
When they
the bat?
communicate, you see man their intelligence.
Mm.
When they communicate ba, ang problem lang yun is when they do not report a problem and then and post it in the public, we can't see it's not about the problem, it's about how they solve the problem, ang good.
Mm.
Di ba? Kay ang problem na magud na, but kanang mutubag na nga ang answer is that's the way it is. That's a
Mm.
red mark na daan.
Right.
That because that's just the way it is. I'm like, okay, really? Diba? There's always a better way of solving a problem.
Right.
You don't just say, that's the way it is. Diba? So you see already, this, noted. As a leader lang, be careful good na not to step on everything. Sige na lang ka, you always do it ba? Because when they communicate, the problems are being talked, and then you come in, pook, and then you try to save them. Diba? So that sometimes, as a leader, try not to
Resist the temptation.
resist the temptation of giving them the solution.
Right.
Sometimes there is really problems. I've encountered one problem. Mga why Corinti ang branch for 3 days. I didn't solve the problem for them. I just left them until they said, "Sir, give up, sir. I can't solve the problem." So it took me 30 minutes to turn on the whole thing because of connection, di ba? Because you have connections, man.
That's true.
That's why connections are very important, but don't use it all the time. Kay you owe the guy na pod a problem. You owe them na pod nga kag connection, but but you see that they're really trying really hard, but you lost money. But in the process, good, they really learn.
Yeah.
But they also know good now. I'd like to kanang stress to them that when they need help, just ask good. Nga kanang seriously, sir, I need help. Okay, if so that, and then that's an also opportunity to show your people that you can really deliver if you just give time to it. Ano man, but I cannot give all the time. Like solving that Veco problem at the very start, murag,
Right.
come on, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. But kita ko mo resod, they're having really a hard time on. So I stepped in and then showed them this is how to do it if you know how to do it, di ba?
Yeah.
Oo.
Yeah,
Jo-
I think that's very important because
Yeah, like what you're sharing now is actually really gold, especially if you're you're managing a huge organization, and
or even a small one.
or
if
even
you're hiring,
yeah, even small
someone,
one. It's
anyone
to
who
me
hires.
it's very what you're saying is actually very helpful, and I think that if I you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the key to it all is like really good system communication, because that's where you can gauge a lot of things in your organization. So like guys, if you're watching this, and I know it was cut, no, but if you go back and just listen to what Jojo was saying from the start about this concept of servant leadership, you will really learn a lot of gold in terms of like how to run how to run your organization, how to talk to people, systems of communication, and etc.
I was talking to one of the kanang I think power company yun, like the CEO of the power company, me kuyog man ako. So pai, how do you, so it's Bisaya English kay, taas mo siya ilong. So by how do you run that super company of yours? Siya, Jo, you know, CONYO. We have the same problems. It's just that I have more zeros on it. Ano yun siya?
Wow.
Mo gid ang iya. Tinuod biya gid, I see him in a golf course. Well, the partners, I see the partners sign documents nga tag 8-0 gid ang nakasuwat ba? Wow.
Wow.
Di ba? I mean, they just have bigger numbers in their problems. No matter how small.
So you're saying is that these are recurring problem wherever you are,
Ano,
but it's just more.
Yeah.
It's
It's just more costly.
multiplied.
Like example, magubay lang power plant,
Yeah.
just like a few billion, di ba?
That's true. That's true.
In loss in sales, di
That's
ba?
true. Yeah.
So sa ato maguba ato ang sana mixer sa makina, we just lose maybe 500 pesos an hour,
Right.
Yeah.
di ba?
Yeah.
Or more.
Right.
So
Yeah,
So-
I actually teach this, Joe, with seminars that we do with Joseph. No, that people choose between big or small problems, and actually those who are successful, who are businessmen, chose to focus on the big problems. Like let's say Elon Musk has this dream of going to Mars, right? No one has ever done it. That's a big problem. Like Bill Gates want to solve malaria or something like that.
Right.
So because of that, that's the shift in mindset. Rather than focusing on like my problem is the traffic or being late or I don't know what to wear or what to eat or the electricity bill. I mean, choose bigger problems,
Right.
and you will realize that the small problems will go away, and that's actually one way to
Or
get bigger and
it
bigger.
wouldn't matter as much.
Yeah, like what he said about the kawat of the the
Like
bread.
one pan.
It's not,
Yeah, 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 it's good.
it's not the big problem. If you focus on
It's
the
a
big problem,
problem.
it's
It's
a
a problem,
problem.
but-
But you choose your battle,
Yeah.
battle, and
things that you can solve, you solve.
yes,
That's why the demand of your business should be talking about longevity of the business, diba? If you're selling something that's not sustainable, I've done this, man. I've tried it, man. Um, our target sales of an item has to be like 12 pieces a day, but the supplier can only supply 5 pieces a day. So why do the business? Stop it, diba?
Yeah.
Ana gyud siya. Longevity is based on supply.
Right.
Diba? If you're selling maybe a painting and make hundreds of thousands, then you only need, a few paintings. So di ka kinalag. But make sure that lang you have that supply of painting yapon.
Yeah.
Because your target is 3 paintings a month, diba? You
That's
make
true.
sure that you have, 3 paintings a month that you can sell.
Yeah.
Because kung wala na supply, then what for?
That's
Diba?
true.
That's for me very important in running businesses. A lot of the businessmen magud karon, like they're so passionate about something, and then sometimes you really see it, magod. You see it. Maybe they were my mentors or my lolo saw it even before. Why is Jojo doing this? Ano ba? But they won't tell me to stop.
They allow
because
you to
They
for
allow you
experience.
because you will never believe, man.
Yeah.
You will never believe. Sometimes no. Ana pag ko, sus, my very arrogant self before. I'd rather be poor now when I'm young than poor later when I'm old. Ano ba? Which is very arrogant, but it shouldn't be like that, no. It should be more on joining and being in a group that really cares.
Right.
Like because if you really care, you talk to them. Talk to them, bay, assess ko no. Where is this going? Diba?
Right.
Is this sustainable? I have a friend. Sus, Joe, what do you think? Siya, let me check. Bye. You're going to jail for this. And then, sure, no. But you're really going to jail for this. No. True enough. Diba?
Yeah.
Because sometimes money is always, most of the time, money will always blind you.
Yes.
So,
Because it's
but-
so appealing.
but he's okay now. He's okay now. He's able to fight it out.
Mm.
But he didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
Um,
and he was lucky to have you as
but
someone.
no, he still
But
did
he
it.
didn't- did
he
it.
did it. He did it.
So-
But he's okay now. He's really a good friend
Yeah.
of mine. Mo na siya. Sometimes you really have to step in
Right.
and really, talk to the people around him to tell him to stop. Mo na ako mistake ato.
Yeah.
Uh,
and,
learning.
and for those who are starting their own business, I think this is really crucial as well, because you should surround yourself with people who are honest enough to support you
mm,
and tell you, because sometimes I would agree now, we will be blinded with money, with the fame or whatever. And the thing is, be careful with, if the people are still giving you feedback, that's good sign. Haters are good sign. But if you don't listen to them, and the moment that they give up on you na, sige na lang, I won't tell
Di
you
na
anymore.
maminaw.
Di na lang ka maminaw, then that's a bad sign, because they're no longer supporting you. They're no longer like giving you the their ideas, and that's the crucial thing as well, as especially with starting a business. If you ask for feedback and you don't listen at all, but yeah,
What a
so
blessing! What the my blessings recently are the people that I surround myself with. I've really great friends. But um, you have to surround with the people that of the same kanang style ba in culture. Kay para uh you'll be influenced by their thinking also, and you're more accountable to them. Um, it's it's always uh choosing where you hang out, or
Right.
you know choosing what you want to do. Kanang,
yeah,
if you're in a bar, most probably you want to open a bar. Diba?
yeah,
You hang out in a bar, you want to open a bar, diba? If you want to hang out in a school, then you want to open a school, diba? You want to hang out in a coffee shop, you want to open a coffee shop, diba? So, diba? If you notice that, where you want to hang out, that's the business
Yeah.
that you want to do.
Exactly. Right.
Oh, diba? So, make
Yeah.
sure lang na you're surrounded with with kanang people nga you
want to
think na
become,
sakto
right?
sad, no? Oh.
Yeah. Well, Joe, you know what you've shared so far is really
Hey,
really valuable.
golden
And
nuggets.
we've gone through like operation, communication, and now like surrounding yourself with the right people, right? And I'm pretty sure there's so much more for you to share, but thank you so much for sharing that, and just spending the time with us and the people in the big picture community. We truly appreciate that. That the time that you take, they're taking now to share to us these things that you've learned so far in the business, and that making you the person that you are right now. But we will not let you go, Joe, yet,
Okay, go.
because we're
Fire.
gonna fire what they call the lightning round,
That's
Sige daw, go.
so that people
Na,
will
na,
get to know you, and you have to answer this as quickly as
Okay.
you can.
Let me
Okay?
just drink my coffee.
Go ahead. Go
By
ahead.
the way,
So-
I just did my 6-minute kanang presentation to BNI yesterday. Amazing.
Wow.
This is this group called BNI.
Yeah.
It's something that you should, if somebody invites you to a BNI breakfast or BNI meeting, I highly suggest you go. It's something really good for business people. No?
Yeah, I've attended one. Maybe I
uh,
should join your BNI group.
Why not? Why not? You're all invited.
Yeah.
It's for me, it's a group where I consider it before we do that firing round. No,
Go ahead.
I consider that BNI. It's you have friends, and you have your friends and your ministry and friends. They're one,
Right.
and you cannot mix ministry with business man kayo. I don't advise it. No. Kay ministry nimo are your accountability friends man of your business. 'Di ba? Ministry friends panako are people who are you're gonna tell them your business, and then they're gonna tell you, I don't think it's a good idea. 'Di ba? No, not really tell you. You pray about it. That word that
You pray about it.
when you say they pray about it, murag kana kuya na na. and
Yeah.
and then there's that one, people that you want to hang out with, and then kanang you want to just chill and relax and talk about stuff, di ba? Family,
Right.
talk about these things. And BNI is where you talk about business and all about business. And and I don't think you need to go to ganahan ko nila because you don't need to um talk about other things except
No,
business
chica
like
chica, no chica chica.
chica chica is okay, but
You know.
the main goal is really to give leads and give businesses, and at the same time you'll be given
Yeah,
businesses as
yeah.
well. So
Alright.
BNI is a
Yeah,
thing,
it's a good
So this is
organization.
a
a plug-in yun ako
a
ni.
plug-in.
Oh.
All right. So Joe, here's the lightning round. Okay, are you ready?
Na, na
Very
siya?
quick. Very
Okay,
quick.
go.
So here's a first question: Who or what inspires you?
Oh, it's really
By the way, Jojo doesn't know these questions yet. This is the first time
know,
he's
okay.
hearing this. So
Unsa to?
he's
What unsa to
he's in
again?
a
Sorry
surprise.
again.
Who or what inspires you?
It's really when people get to know Christ more, the things that we are doing. Um, that's our goal. Not about money. Um, s- I got this idea nga families had murag it starts with a family, and what's a family? Murag nga na gani. That's why we're into this homeschooling thing. We see that now families are being attacked, broken and everything. So mo na siya nga that's our that's what inspires me. And with that, maamong mo sa akong family, which is good, di ba?
Yeah. So next question is, what's your like morning routine or daily routine as a business owner, and President.
So I wake up, Facebook, Limitaw, limitaw. Wake up, and then I make sure that I sign all the papers,
Yes.
and then uh, I like to hang out with my kids since they are homeschooled. Um, my business is done online, and I try to go to my office or visit my office as often as I can. Uh, and then at mostly are really my family, my children, and my wife. We hang out a lot, especially now golf sports for them. We're enjoying it. That's what we like to do.
So you recommended BNI, you recommended Homeschool Global for homeschooling. Like, what
Mm.
are the other like books, resources, shows that you're recommending?
Oh my, I don't really watch a lot, but I like to kanang Google and YouTube. Murag, it's my interest, diba? So whatever your interest is, go to YouTube, and most probably there are people there talking about the things that they've experienced. Some of them are like as short as 3 minutes. High impact. That's it. Very affordable. And CCF. That's the church I go to, and there's a lot of things I learned. I used to go to a lot of AIM talks. I really spent a lot if in my first few years of working. Wa man ko kasway trabaho gyud. I sold vacuum cleaners, Rainbow, but as highest selling salesman of that for 1 year, 36 machines. But amazing, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. And
I
then
think each one machine is like
yeah,
215 or something.
something like that, or maybe lesser.
Ah, that's ba?
So um, I go there to I spend a lot to learn on some things that are so simple. Actually, business is much simpler than a life,
Wow.
di ba? So
Agree to that.
because when the families or when your family breaks down, your business will follow. It's never if your business will break down, your family is okay, life is okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Diba? So, but the problem is people are focusing so much on what to do with business, what to do with business, you never really ask, oh, what do I do with my wife? What do I do with my children? What do I do with my education of my children? What do I do with myself?
Right.
Diba? So the so I realized late mga nasud ko aning um CCF or the church that I go to, every Sunday, it's it's the learning I get. The very simple things like be slow to speak, slow to anger, quick to think, or when you say what is love, what is love for you? Kana ana ba? Like loving persona, like loving is about kanang ano sana kanang perfect or kanang ana mo man ang love,
Right.
agape love, and then there's this love called kanang I forgot the name, but it's about loving the imperfect person and seeking for their
Unconditional
highest
love.
unconditional love, which is seeking for their highest good,
Mm.
no, for the glory of God. So murag, and that's what love is. So love is just meaning your children. How do you take care of them? Dili love nga murag give them everything, and you have to teach them of kanang naay consequences, di ba? The kind of love God has given us. So, and it's very ma-relate mo gud siya nimo sa work
Mm.
and then life. Life is more harder than work because basta once you go to this kanang Sunday
Right.
Sunday sana every Sunday I learn a lot. Every Sunday or every time I join these things, murag, wow, that's a week of challenge, and then you join a group.
Right.
It's called the T group, and then you will learn more about life because these people are sharing what their experiences are.
Yes.
Diba? You're always looking, diba? That's why you're making a show because you want people to share,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And now you're in this group that actually shares and goes through life with you. That's more easier
Yeah.
because oh I did that and it's not gonna work. And every week biya mo magkuyog.
Wow.
So it develops
Very
you more.
powerful. It's like a
Oh.
mastermind in
Oh.
the.
Like today we had a
Bloodletting.
general checkup with our
Mm.
group. Kami
Oh,
yun,
yeah.
ang among group, diba?
That's why.
So murag, you know,
Yeah.
so and after we had breakfast, we had some talks about life or our struggles, ano ba?
Yeah. Awesome.
Amazing.
So that's why surrounding yourself with people is really important. Nga kanang
Yes.
people are generally okay, man. It's just that ang influence man good
Yeah.
is around them, you know. Bad bad company corrupts good morals, never the other way around. So if you are good and you hang out in a bad group, less likely they will become good. Most likely you will be bad. Oh, you will follow them. Oh,
Right.
herding
Wow,
ba?
very powerful.
Oh.
I always preach that as well.
Uh-huh.
So yes.
Go
So-
ahead.
Do you consider yourself successful?
I don't think so. It's what is successful, man? Uy?
There's actually a
That's
trick
the-
question.
there's a
That's the
trick
real
question.
There's a book here called Achieving True Success. I have to read the whole thing. Oh. True success, diba? You have to know what true success is. There's a book here called Achieving True Success. It's actually a book for the kids, but I think adults should read it also. So, if I'm successful, not yet, but working on it, diba? So, lisod sa namin ko successful, ba? Hindi na kamawa.
You're done already.
You're done.
Okay, so next question. There are people who watches the show, like they want to start their own business. You know, they want to take in a challenge. They've been planning it, but there's a lot of things that are holding them back. Maybe. So what advice you can give them?
Okay. So, I don't think business is the only way.
Yeah.
No, because now it's not easy. You can actually get paid more than a businessman,
Mhm.
diba? And then while you're at work, just do it well. Kanang work for your company,
Right.
diba? I think there's a lot of ways to if money lang or kanang yana. There's a lot of ways to make money while working,
Yeah.
and think of the process, good. You can't just suddenly become a businessman. Murag, when my wife resigned from Nestle, nag-run mi sa mong home service spa, and I told her you can resign once the income of that home
can
service spa
sustain.
can sustain or replace your income in the corporate world, which was hard, di ba? Di ba? Oh, so we were able to achieve that in a year or two, or less than 2 years. So, murag, process gid siya. You have to think of the process. Then again, it doesn't mean man nga naka-get away na ka from working, you will not go back because your
You'll still
business
work.
can actually fail and you still
Right.
work. Daghan na ba kay problema karon? You know, all these
Yeah.
regulations
Yeah.
are there. So if you wanna do it, if you wanna go into business, make sure that it's for young longevity is really good, and then make sure also that it's according to God's, agreeable to God ba. Oh, murag, because longevity is equal to that man sad yun para nako. You do That's why some of the bars they only last as good as 2, 3, 5 years. More than that wala na. You have to create another one.
Right.
Di man na. I don't think that's God's unsa. Well, mingon sila okay ra na eh. Maybe for some but not for me.
Right.
So yeah.
Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing answer. Yeah.
So this is the last question, Joe, and if people who are watching this later or listening to the podcast later, they want to get in touch with you, they have questions, or they want to get in touch with like San Jose
businesses,
or
yeah.
Homeschool Global. What's the best way for them to connect?
I think wow. We don't have a page. We have a page called Homeschool Life. But I don't really update it as much. Or how do you get to me?
You can go. I think CCF and BNI is a good one.
I think yeah. I think it's not about what you ask me. It's about what you do. What you do every day. What you do every weekend. Um, what you do every Friday. Because what you do every Friday or Saturday night has an effect on your Sunday morning or your Saturday morning.
Right.
Wow,
So-
that's the first time I've heard about that.
Di ba?
Yeah,
Kung
but
wala
it
ka-
really does.
You go home at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
your Saturday's
Saturday's
dead.
dead.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Saturday is an
your
opportunity
sacrifice,
to
possibly
build.
Sunday.
that's proceeding to Saturday evening
Right.
Yeah.
and then ending the Sunday.
Yeah.
So mona siya. It's not about what you ask me. It's about what you do and where you hang out.
Right.
Oh.
But Joe, like if they want to get to know more about Homeschool Global Visayas, for
We have-
example,
we have a-
where did they go?
we have a page for that, Homeschool Global Visayas in Facebook.
Okay.
Um,
Just type it in. Homeschool Global
yeah,
Visayas.
it's probably in home. Most probably you'll
Yeah.
see it because we have a. It also gives you a lot of information. You send a message, and
Right.
it will give you an automatic link on. You need to fill up and just to know more about homeschooling.
Awesome.
So if you wanna really reach me, I think go to San Jose Bakeshop and send a message. That's actually me answering.
Awesome. Yeah. That's good. You're like the messenger part.
The messenger part, or I'm just watching
You,
over
you get
it.
to know.
Oh,
Okay,
it
you're
goes
you're
through
watching.
me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Awesome.
yeah.
All right.
What other questions do you have?
That's the
Mark?
last
That's
question.
it.
That's
That's
the
the
last
last
Joe,
question.
thank you so much for your
Yes.
time again. It's so much fun, just to talk to you and learning from you and asking these questions. Some of these questions, by the way, are not like the easiest thing in the world. We know that, and but you really inspired us for for those who are watching in the live and
Audience
later.
here,
Yeah, we have an audience here. Guys, we will be releasing
Yes,
an official
full
release later,
edit.
but you can definitely this video will be there in the page
Yes,
as
please
long as
share it.
Facebook is available.
Please share it if you're someone who wants to get into homeschooling. You want to start your own business, or you're beginning to build your business,
Or
growing it.
you're building, or you're a supervisor in an organization
Yeah.
of 5 of 7. That what you're sharing.
Normally, if you're working, but grab that as an opportunity, good, because most people just keep on leaving jobs, diba, left and right, and then you can never form something if you don't stay. For me
Yeah.
lang. Like, how can you plan your week if you're new to a company?
Yeah.
That's true.
Murag, new in a way, 1 year is new.
Yes.
You're not fully grounded to the company if you haven't been there for 2 or 3 years.
Exactly.
That's
I
true.
think when you're 3 years already, you can
Yeah.
do business on the side because you
Yeah.
already know your schedule,
Yeah.
your routine.
Yeah.
Right.
You can develop if you wanna master your job. I don't think you can master it in a month. Mastered in 3 years, then most probably you only need to do your job 3 hours. All the other hours, 6 hours, you can think about other things, diba?
Yeah.
Right. That's a good point.
Which brings us to our,
Yeah.
what we call the 3-day challenge.
Yeah, we're gonna do a 3-day challenge.
This
for
is
you guys.
exactly what we're gonna talk about, and how you, if you're an employee, or if you have you decided to like jump to become a business, but you're still hesitant, right? And
Yes.
you have some worries, and
We're gonna remove those fears.
yeah, and
And
yeah.
we're not
So
gonna let you jump.
watch out
But
for
you're good.
that. It's about
It's called
you-
95 Entrepreneurs.
Yes, and so please join our group. So that's the big picture that you can check out our website first, thebigpicture.ph, and you'll find everything there. But if you go to our Facebook page, the Big Picture Philippines, you'll find the group page there, or the group there. You can join there. So the
called
Big
95
Picture community, yes,
Oh,
but
the community.
and you can have all the detail we'll be posting there so that you can be updated, right? So we'll have that. We're launching anytime soon this month for the live audience. Yes.
Yes, we're
We're gonna
launching
have
that.
it
that.
this
That's
month.
that's a big project that we're doing. We thought that like the concept of being an entrepreneur, if you apply it as a person with a 9 to 5, you're definitely gonna excel. You take more responsibility about your career, and I'm excited with what we're working on. Dave and I is always on a call every week, building this thing. Actually, it's all built. The thing that we're building now is the marketing side. How do we get that word out
Yeah.
to you guys?
So yes, you can share this episode,
Yes.
and I think that's a wrap, Joe.
That's a wrap. Jojo, thank you,
Thank
so,
you
much.
so much.
Thank you.
Again, this
And
has been Joseph,
this is Dave,
and this is Jojo saying goodbye for now.
bye bye.
Bye.